The All Blacks and Japan have only ever played 2 official test matches, and both of those were during World Cup competitions. And today here in Tokyo, that is about to change as they meet for the first time on Japanese soil. Greetings from the Prince Chichibu Memorial Stadium as the All Blacks launch their 4-match Northern Tour. And before we do anything else, let's get conditions for the game with sideline Tony Johnson.
Well, gloomy skies over Tokyo, Grant, but the drizzle that was threatening has stayed away, and a very excited crowd of 27,000 capacity here. The pitch, well, it's been used a lot in domestic rugby, probably just a little bit more uneven, a little bit rough than the New Zealand team are used to, but still conditions not too bad for this match here. And as I say, the crowd, a very excited crowd of 27,000 packed into the stadium.
Thanks, TJ. All right, let's have a look at the All Black team for this game today, and it features 2 new caps, Frank Halai, who will play in jersey number 11, but he'll play on the right wing, and Dominic Bird at lock, who's just recently back from injury. The 2 big guns are there, Dan Carter playing his first test match since being injured at Eden Park in mid-September, and Richie McCaw, who plays at number 8, which allows Sam Cane another test match at open side flank. A big day too for Tuera Kurbalo as he makes his first start in his 12th test match, and none of these 15 started against Japan 2 years ago at the World Cup. Looking into the Japanese dressing room, Justin Marshall is with me, and really big day in Tokyo, Justin.
Certainly is. Yes, welcome in everybody, and an exciting encounter in front of us. Japan, the expectancy that they'll challenge the All Blacks today, but also the All Blacks plenty of new caps and players looking to push their claims to go on for further test matches on the European tour.
Okay, well, as you heard from Tony, it's a bit of a gloomy old afternoon. It's only coming up 2 o'clock in the afternoon local time as we have a look at the Japanese side. With a couple of exceptions, it is the team that scored in a historic win over Wales several months ago. Halfback Fumiaka Tanaka has become a familiar figure around New Zealand grounds after a couple of seasons with both Otago and the Highlanders, while in the midfield, Craig Wing had a distinguished NRL career with Souths and the Roosters. Real experience in the pack comes from Hitoshi Ono in the middle row with 73 test matches, and Shota Horia is now at the Melbourne Rebels after a stint in Otago. So some of the All Blacks are out there, not all of them, and maybe are about to head back in here, so it's not the official arrival of the teams on the park. There's Richie McCaw playing in the number 8 jersey, the unfamiliar number 8 jersey. Today it looks like a false alarm.
It does. I think traditionally over here they like both teams to come out together, so that's possibly what's happened. A few of the All Blacks keen, and none more keener than Richie McCaw. Dan Carter, I guess they're the experienced guys in this team, but they're very excited seeing them at training this week. You know, it's a lot of pressure. There's some young players that are performing in their positions, and they're keen to get out there and perform.
27,000 capacity. You can see the odd little block. People haven't quite arrived, but a lot of people still trying to get into the ground here. Match being played in central Tokyo, so obviously a fair bit of congestion around the grounds. This is the same venue that the All Blacks played back in 2000, and on that occasion they played a Japanese Barbarians team. And now here they come officially as the All Blacks led out by Richie McCaw, and Toshiaki Rossi, the wing 3/4, is leading out the Japanese team. So the captain leading the haka, and Frank Halai and Dominic Bird, along with a couple of players in the reserves on debut, and Jeff Tuamunga-Allen and Luke Whitelock doing the haka for the first time in the All Black jersey, and a big thrill for them, I'm sure.
Certainly will be. The stage is set now. Great opportunity for these All Blacks to press their claims. Interesting to watch the Japanese, who have now stood, respected the haka, and are now going through some warm-up drills at the other end of the field.
A great response from the crowd. They watched the haka in silence, or those about 20,000 flashbulbs went off, and then a great roar at the end of it. They're very respectful crowds here in Japan. They tend to watch the games in relative silence and then applaud greatly when things happen that they appreciate.
Referee is Stuart Berry from South Africa. Two Australian assistant referees, Angus Gardner and Andrew Lees, and Matt Goddard is the TMO. And we are almost set to go for the third official test match between the All Blacks and Japan, and the first on Japanese soil.
So Japan's tactics will be interesting. Are they going to kick the ball to the All Blacks traditionally over here? Very much want to play with ball in hand. Be exciting to see them do that, because the All Blacks game plan certainly revolves around using the ball, playing with width. If Japan enter into that, we're going to have an entertaining afternoon.
So the countdown is on, and the whistle blows, and the All Blacks Northern Tour is underway, and Dane Carter kicks off, and it's just fallen to the ground. Looked like a knock-on. Yes, it was, as the All Blacks came racing through on that. I think it might have been finally Frank Halai, who was a little unsighted, and the ball knocked on. And so the first scrum of the game, and it will be Japanese ball. So Fumiaka Tanaka in his 38th test match to feed this first scrum, and the referee not happy. He wants them a little closer. So there's Ben Franks on the tight head side up against Masataka Mikami.
See there, Tatakawa, he's got some options. The winger on the inside, Fukuoka, and also Craig Wynn, that many will remember from his rugby league days in Australia. 7'5'8".
So Tanaka gets it in. Quickly off the back goes Halani, when he's lost the ball forward, I think. Yes, he has. In contact. He's a big man, the number 8 forward.
Yes, the size in the Japanese pack really is in their loose trio. The locks are both around the 190, 192, so they're not big men at all, but Halani's a big man. Broadhurst, quite a big number 7, and Tui, the other New Zealander in the pack, at 6. That's really where the height of this line-out is. And the scrum, well, they're quite outweighed by about 20 kilograms here.
Good start from Tawera Kurbalo there. He's on the far side of the scrum, made his way right around to be involved in that tackle with Sam Cane, which dislodged the ball. Great opportunity for the All Blacks.
So Kurbalo to feed, just a couple of minutes gone in the game. And, well, somehow the All Blacks have lost that, and it's been shoveled across to Craig Wynn in the midfield. Now Tanaka gets it away, and Tatakawa makes a little dab. They're still well inside their own half here, Japan, but they are happy to use the ball as Hendrik Tui in the number 6 jersey takes it into contact. Looks like a kick, a clearing kick coming up this time, and Tatakawa unleashes. Beauden Barrett, of course, playing at fullback for the All Blacks today, quickly gives it off to Charles Piutau, and here is Halai making a good start. Right up the centre he goes, and looks for support, finds it from Kurbalo. 15 out from the 22, the All Blacks, and they've got players to burn out on this near side. Here's Carter, gets it off to Coles, he shovels it on, and Richie McCaw bundled into touch. But a good start by Frank Halai. He is playing on the right wing, but he is wearing jersey number 11.
Great start for the Japanese pack, though, at scrum time.
And a good start for the line out too, as they win that one. And carried up again by Tui. Now it's with Ito. Back it goes for the clearing kick, and it's been dragged into touch. Not making a great deal of ground. And the All Blacks will have a line out here, just near the 22-metre line. Nearly 4 minutes gone in the game. There's Dominic Bird in his first Test match. In fact, it's Luatua who takes it, though. Here comes Saili on the drive inside the 22. Kerr Barlow works it away to Ben Smith. Once again wearing that 13 jersey, and the first penalty goes the way of Japan, and the penalty goes against Wyatt Crockett, who came in on the angle and has incurred the penalty.
Good start from Japan. They've had the opportunity, as Tony mentioned, to turn the All Blacks ball over. Got their hands on the ball with some good attack, and then scrambled very well on defence, getting McCaw down this far right-hand corner. The All Blacks with their set, premeditated move there. First Saili hit it up, and then Smith. Good tackling, nice and low, and the All Blacks got done with entry there. So you have to say to Japan, they are very good in the tackle area at the moment. A great start, and I think it's Wyatt Crockett they've got there, coming in the side on the far side.
Japanese line out. Horia throws. Off the top goes Broadhurst, and Japan again take it up through two. He's a good strong ball runner. That's about the third time in the game so far. The referee was about to blow the whistle there. I think he was going to penalise the Japanese, as Mali Sao, the midfielder, has it. And a good strong tackle there, and it's another penalty. Might have been McCaw this time. Here's Japan. They like to play the game at high speed, and this time the All Blacks get the penalty as the ball wasn't released. The last man up there is Michael Broadhurst. So a penalty. It's in All Black territory. So Dan Carter to look for the touchline.
Good to see Japan want to play this game at pace. And they certainly look up for it, giving the ball some width as well. Nice and strong in the tackle ball area as well. You can see there, that's Richie McCaw, gets in over the ball, is penalised. A quick tap from Tanaka. The All Blacks scrambled well, got back five nicely, let them run. And of course they were onside, got the turnover.
So Bird wins the line out nicely. Now Carter pushes back on the inside. It goes to Piutau. And Kerr Barlow is there again. They're inside the 22. Saili moves it back on the inside. And Cole's taken down, carried on though by Crockett. In fact, the run was made by Jeremy Thrush initially. And here is Smith trying to bust through in midfield. Kerr Barlow there again quickly. The All Blacks building up here. And Bird almost got through the first tackle. Kerr Barlow again hands it up to Thrush. And desperately trying to lay it back. And might have been turned over here. No, he's given the scrum to the All Blacks. Might have been a little bit lucky there. 7 minutes gone in the game. Still no score, but most of the match being played inside Japanese territory.
And what is obvious is the work at the breakdown from Japan. Pre-game, I bumped into in the players' tunnel Filo Tiatia, who's part of the coaching team. He said just for the week. And obviously everybody knows, and our condolences and best wishes go out to Eddie Jones, who's struggling after suffering a stroke a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately he was paramount in getting this game here. Can't be involved today. We are thinking of him, but he is making a good recovery. But Filo Tiatia, his speciality is the breakdown, and it's an area that Japan look like they've improved in. I wonder what sort of an influence. It looks like quite a bit he's had this week.
So a lot of good options here for the All Blacks as McCaw waits. No. Yes, Scott Wisemanta, an Australian, is deputising for Eddie Jones at the moment.
Filo, of course, part of the All Black team that played here in 2000, Justin.
Yeah, he certainly was, Tony. And he's been a big part of Japanese rugby. Obviously spent a few years in the UK with the Ospreys.
Well, I know their director of coaching, Scott Johnson, felt that he had a real future as a coach. Scott, when he was there, now with Scotland, of course, but he felt that Filo Tiatia was a guy who could go a long way as a coach.
Fine.
Barlow gets it in again. McCaw's going to touch it, swings the attack away the other way. And here is the little kick through by Asaili. Now the race is on, and the bounce important, but it beats everyone. And back for a 22 dropout they go. Well, they can have a scrum if they wish, but they've opted for the 22. Well, it was just a question of the bounce there, and it favoured Japan.
You'll have noticed at that scrum, guys, that the ground is cutting up at scrum time. It's a well-used pitch, this. They play a lot of the Japanese League rugby matches here, and it just looks like it's shifty a bit on the top, not holding particularly well at scrum time.
Tarakawa kicks off, Piatau takes it, gives it off to Barrett. The All Blacks will chase this. It'll come down just out from the 22. Oh, badly missed and snapped up, and here's an opportunity for Charles Piatau, and he runs in from the mistake made by Halai, and Charles Piatau has picked up his first Test try as the All Blacks score early in Tokyo.
Well, good follow-up. Barrett made the kick. He's got plenty of time, Halai. He didn't need to go up for it. If he just stayed on the ground, he would have been fine. Instead, he went up, got his timing wrong, hit him on the shoulder. As any good winger is, chasing from a fullback kick. Piatau was there, and the All Blacks strike.
Well, Japan have been competing well, but the one thing they can't afford to do is make mistakes, because this All Black team will punish them. Nice moment. He's got his family here with him in Japan this week.
Yes, in fact, quite a few parents of players have come up to watch this game. So here's Dan Carter. Test number 98 for him today. Nice handy position for his first kick of the day, and over it goes, and the All Blacks lead by 7-0. So a nice moment for Charles Piatau in his 8th Test match, and he gets that first try. There's Frank Halai. Ben Franks. Tarakawa with the restart, taken down by Barrett. Good work by the captain there, Hiroshi, getting there very quickly. But the All Blacks get over the top of it, and Per Barlow hoisting high. Not a very good chase from the All Blacks, and an opportunity here for Goramaru to lay it back. Now Tanaka, off it goes to the veteran Ono. He's playing advantage here as Wing takes it into contact. Advantage still applies. Horia. Tanaka works it away. Here once again is Ono, but no advantage. And let's see what Japan's attitude is here. We'll kick for goal.
I think they've got to keep the scoreboard close. The points, if they get away from them, the All Blacks were to score again, then it starts to become a bit of a panic. I think the sensible option, albeit he's got to kick it yet, is to take your chances and make sure you keep the scoreboard nice and close if they want to try and win this game. And obviously they do.
Goramaru has accumulated 295 Test points, so closing in on a little milestone in his 30th Test match today.
Just 14 minutes past 2 here local time, guys, and the lights are on and starting to take full effect. It really is a very gloomy afternoon here in Tokyo, but fortunately the threat of rain doesn't seem to be materializing. That's the best thing, but it's getting quite dark here.
First shot at goal, and that is a popular kick. Goramaru kicks the penalty goal, 7-3. Carter from halfway. The little one just pushed over the 10-metre line, but nicely taken down by Tui. And the referee was playing advantage.
Yeah, it was just Sam Kane. He did just check the ball carrier as in the air. I don't think there was any intent in it, but it was enough, I guess, just to be dangerous. You can see there, he just reaches out his arm, grabs at him, but a player in the air, you can't hit him like that and try to tackle him. So a legitimate penalty. Obviously a few adjustments in this All Black team need to be made. McCaw playing at number 8, that'll change the dynamic of the way he plays. We saw him earlier on get that ball 2 out from the wing, well actually on the wing. It's the way Kieran Reid obviously plays out wide, Barrett at fullback, so some players just start to feel their way into the game.
Yes, a lot of new combinations in this particular All Black team, as Japan, their set piece is going pretty well so far, and that's crunched up by Tarakawa. Now here's Horia. They'd certainly like to get the ball in hand as Goromaru, the fullback, takes it in. He's knocked it on though, and they do play an exciting brand of rugby.
You can't fault the enthusiasm. They're certainly quite happy to mix it. It's just those little mistakes that are costing them. The crowd are really loving this. They're absolutely getting into it.
I think it's also the area they've targeted. It's quite obvious it's around Dan Carter. They're going in that 9-10 channel. Tatakawa is quite a solid built first 5/8, and that again off the tail of that lineup was straight in at Carter. So either they're looking to tie him in, or they've spotted a weakness in that channel. Very obvious game plan though. That's the area they want to go at the moment.
The All Blacks have split their backs here as Kurbalo steps away and makes the kick. And that's a good long punt by Kurbalo. Finally it's been snapped up by Fukuoka as Goromaru kicks from outside his 22, got good distance. Barrett works it back into Piutau, and he in turn moves it off to Saili, taking the line on, and fires a loose pass though, and the scramble is on for the loose ball, and it's been won by Japan in All Blacks territory. Here is prop forward Makami as Tanaka gets there. A nice little impasse from Tarakawa as Halani gives it off to Tui. Saili goes in and makes the tackle low. Japan now getting their share of ball in the game as Tanaka sends it off to Tui.
They've lost their 10, Japan. You can see he's in the background there. Tatakawa, he's injured.
So Tanaka moves it across. Here is the set of 3/4. Sao lowered in a good low tackle by Carter. Just hanging on is Makami. He managed to control it though, and Goromaru has knocked it on. No advantage. Now let's have a look at the injured player. You're not looking too flash either, Justin.
Yeah, it's Tarakawa. He did get eventually back into the play, but he wasn't there for a long period. It's either his shoulder or his arm. He got hit by Ben Smith. Ben Smith came up out of the line. It looks like a shoulder, and he's not in good shape. That was him that threw the pass, and he just did not want to throw it from right to left there. It was quite obvious.
He's also got a very heavily strapped left leg, but at the moment he's being asked to raise his hands up above his head, and he's having some difficulty doing that.
Well, it looks like he's an important component in this Japanese team. He only made his debut last year, but it's already his 20th Test match. Indication of the number of Test matches Japan play in a calendar year. 19
in the last 2 years, I suppose, highlighted by that victory over Wales, a Wales team that was missing members of the Lions team, but still, that's a 23-8 scoreline. It was a tremendous victory for them.
It certainly was. So 18 minutes gone here in Tokyo, The early try scored by Charles Piutau, converted by Carter. Now the last scrum the All Blacks got was a bit of a mess. Look at sitting there. They're going to have to walk over the top of this. So there's a good deal of pressure coming from the Japanese scrum.
It was a good scrum, sorry Nisbo, wasn't it? Makami though, in the finish, they held well, but Makami on the loose head side, close to us, did fold in under the pressure. The All Blacks held quite well, but they're not entirely getting their own way. I think we kind of thought it was a given that the All Black scrum would be dominant here. Watch Makami here. He holds quite well up against on the tight head side there for the All Blacks, Franks, and he falls in the finish.
Yes, you'll notice the All Blacks didn't strike for the ball. They were just rather hoping to walk over the top of it.
I don't think they're going to get it that easy today, unfortunately.
Well, it'll be a question of, I guess, fitness and what sort of impact off the bench Japan are able to get. And that line-out throw has gone astray. So Japan have won one against the throw. So their set pieces have started very well in the game as the kick is made downfield and the All Blacks are offside. So it's a messy old start in the first quarter of the game here.
Really great work from that man there, Broadhurst. He has been mixing it big time in the loose, but just getting in front of Dominic Bird and ripping the ball away.
We actually ripped it from Bird, didn't he? And you're right, he's been very prominent so far, Broadhurst. And Bird actually had his hands on it, but just the timing was quite good. He was underneath him, got the ball, and then ripped it down with his body weight. So a rare entry for Japan into New Zealand territory, operating sort of around the 30% mark only.
You can see there right at the front of the line out, one of the props, Mikami. They're both very short but very powerfully built.
Another good line-out throw by Horia. And Japan have it there. And here goes the hooker on a bit of a run. Kerbalo gets across and takes him to ground. Now Tanaka, as Ben Franks reaches in. Now Shoji Ito in the number 4 jersey. Another good burst by Sao. Nani Sao in midfield. Taki Ama, and he's got Dane Coles here for not releasing. And this is probably an easier kick than the first that was landed by Goramaru.
What's very obvious to me, the advancements that the Japanese have made since last watching them play the All Blacks so far, is physically. All Blacks tend to be a lot more dominant physically. At the moment, the Japanese certainly aren't shirking in the tackle area, and when they're taking the ball forward, they're taking it forward with some power and they're actually getting over the advantage line. So they've obviously done a lot of work in that area, and it certainly looks like it's paying off at the moment.
...2011 World Cup, 83-7 in Hamilton to the All Blacks.
It's the 6th penalty against the All Blacks as well, so not only is that probably not mechanically working that well at the moment, they're also having some discipline issues.
You see the rain just starting to fall now as he's lining this one up.
Another successful penalty goal. Ayumu Goramaru, and 7 points to 6 as we're into the second quarter of this game here in Tokyo. Dan Carter's last kick was a short one. This one is even shorter, and McCaw up there. Good work by the skipper. Gave it off to Kane, and he couldn't offload it, Sam Kane. And they once again have been beaten at the breakdown. And this is a probing kick downfield, which has been taken by Halai. Now Barrett, and that's off the side of the boot, and that's a shocker. Well, Richie McCaw did the hard work. Sam Cane took it, but that was it really. Nobody else there. Throws. Again, the All Blacks contesting, but again, Japan working well, and this time crawling along the ground is the call.
Because they're not big men, those locks, but they're real workers.
Carter's penalty kick, and that's a good one. That's out, surely. No. The assistant referee was there, and he said no, it wasn't out. So now Beauden Barrett gets an opportunity.
It was out by a metre. The ball well crossed the plane of the touchline, and that's out. Doesn't matter if you knock it back into the field of play.
Well, that certainly was the impression, Tony, but
he was a metre in from touch when he played that ball. Anyway.
Fourier throws, and this time good effort by Bird. Got his hands on the road. Kerbalo under pressure, got it off. Carter gave it to Saili, and Francis Saili takes it up. Now the All Blacks, can they string something together here? As McCaw hands it on for Piutau, the try scorer, running strongly. Good run. 15 out from the 22. Kerbalo initially looking blindside, then he gave it off to Bird. Kane is right there with him as the rain is just starting to intensify, and Saili can't hang on. The pass was in front of him, and he lost it forward.
Oh, I tell you what, the Japanese are up for this. Tanaka, before this charge up, went up off the line and nailed Dominic Bird, one of the biggest guys in the All Blacks team. Got in, drilled him, and from there the All Blacks broke down out in the midfield. Carter's pass just too far in front of Saili. As mentioned, there is a bit of rain here, so the pass is going to probably have to be more to the chest now, but they are showing some vigor, and it's great to see.
Tanaka feeds very quickly. Off the back goes Halani. Kane makes the tackle, lost it. Now the All Blacks, he's playing advantage here, and advantage will continue as Crockett tries to free it up, and a nice break here by Carter. Opportunity wide, and the pass is not the best, but Piutau almost got through the initial tackle as Saili moves it off to Stephen Luatua, and it's a penalty advantage going the All Blacks' way if required. Here's Coles, nice little shift by Dane Coles, over the top it goes, lovely move, and the try scored by Sam Cane, and the All Blacks pick up their second.
Not one of the most pretty ones, I guess, they've constructed this year, the All Blacks. It came off a Japanese mistake, but the finish was excellent, and particularly by Dane Coles here. Beats the defender, one arm offload over the top, and two tacklers, and frees it for Sam Cane to finish. Well done, Dane Coles.
Yeah, again, the origins in a Japanese mistake, and the turnover. Really strong run down the left wing from Charles Piutau. He's proving more than a handful, carrying on the good work that we saw from him in Dunedin. You get the feeling that all the All Blacks really have to do is keep the ball in hand, maintain possession. The tries are going to come. They just haven't been able to do that with any regularity so far. Unfortunately, as we speak, that rain that was initially just a bit of drizzle starting to come down quite heavily now.
So another test try for Sam Cane. It's his 7th, and he's playing just in his 14th test match. Charging at Dan Carter, but he's cool, and through it goes. So the converted try, 14 points to 6 now, the All Blacks, after tries by Piutau and this man Sam Cane.
Well, it's symbolic, isn't it, of the way the All Blacks game plan is at the moment, that players like Sam Cane, Richie McCaw, anybody that's in the loose, Luatua and co, Kieran Reid have mentioned, they don't gravitate towards the ruck. They stay out, hold their width, and because of that, we're seeing them score a lot more tries out in those areas.
Well, bad news for Japan. They've lost their first 5. More on that in a moment.
Okay, so the kickoff is made and taken at the second attempt by McCaw. Now Kerr-Barlow, and shoveled on. It was Thrush who gave a quick pass to Franks. There's Kerr-Barlow now, and Carter. Not a great deal of distance on the kick. And coming down around about 22, the bounce is good though for Ben Smith. Opportunities here for the All Blacks. Piutau has a go on the outside, beats one and gets it back on the inside. And Ben Smith, who's stuck with him, has picked up another test try in 2013.
Certainly are paying for their mistakes, Japan. Pretty innocuous looking kick really from Carter, but the chase from the All Blacks was good. They didn't deal with it, Japan. Because of that, New Zealand got the bounce. Ben Smith offloaded nice and early to Piutau, kept himself in the game. Didn't get tackled, so you hear they don't deal with it. He offloads nice and quickly, draws, and Piutau, bang, through he goes, and watch this offload on the inside, but Ben Smith kept his feet. Johnny on the spot. Boy, this guy knows his way to the try line this year, TJ.
Well, it's almost as if he read the situation. I give the ball to him, they're having real trouble containing him, I stay in touch, and a pass will probably come in the end. Just catching up on that bad news for Japan. Tatakawa, who's a very accomplished player, has left the field, and his replacement in jersey number 22, Yu Tamura.
There's Ben Smith. What a season he's had. It's his 11th test try this season and his 13th overall. 21-6. 2 quick tries, and here is the new man, Tamura, as he makes the kick off McCaw. Off it goes to Saili. Kerr-Barlow away for Carter. Thrush setting it just out from the 22 as Barrett moves it on. Here's Coles having a burst. Got good pace, Dane Coles. Now Luatua fires it off to Carter. A little more rhythm coming into the All Black play now as Wyatt Crockett takes it up. Now Carter moves it on, quick hands required, and nicely done. Here is another chance for Piutau. Now he's got players on the inside. He goes for the little kick and chase, and waiting for the bounce, and it's been won by the new man, Tamura, but I suspect he's taken this back, and it's going to be a 5-metre scrum.
Well, he's going to go upstairs to check. I think Angus Gardner's coming in, just for a word.
Red is carried into the goal. I'd like to see if there's any foul play on the black chaser as to whether he's been obstructed by red at all. Thank you.
So we'll just have to wait for the replay here. Now the question is, did the 22, he's entitled to hold a line of some sort. I don't know whether he went outside that line, Justin. Maybe.
He did what any man would do. Just tried to block the passage to the try. He did it well. He's able to hold his line there. He puts his hand out, but he's not grabbing at a shirt or anything. I think it's fine.
Well, at the very least, it's going to be a 5-metre scrum. It's George Ayub in the action here. George came up earlier in the week, did a bit of business, and stuck around to be the TMO today.
Certainly carry back.
Yeah, Georgie, and from what I've seen, just to make sure we're on the same page here, I'm happy it's just shoulder to shoulder. I'm going to go and take it back to the goal. Thank you very much.
So that's the call. No obstruction and a 5-metre scrum.
You can see there on that shot just previously, Beauden Barrett He's just past the last goalpost, and on the far side of him, Frank Halai has got some width, nice and wide, not even in frame there. Big opportunity for some decoy runners and to get it to Halai. I'd like to see her to go one-on-one.
Not a very stable All Black scrum, but in the end it works for Richie McCaw, and the captain driving and scores. Well, it wasn't the greatest scrum in the world, but somehow it popped into the arms of Richie McCaw, and the captain scores the 4th try of the afternoon.
Having a bit of trouble at scrum time here. The All Blacks get spun the wrong way. Tanaka there's been blocked by Luatua. He's entitled to be there and try to stay bound to the scrum. Some will argue, though, he should have his shoulders on the scrum. He's not got his shoulders on, so technically they're detached. What Tanaka probably could have done, though, when he saw that detachment, is go in and get McCaw. Instead, he got blocked by Luatua. Great strength from McCaw as Martin Nonu applauds.
Is Martin Nonu one of the players who came up here but is not involved in the match day 23? Of course, the guys that have gone directly to France: Tony Woodcock, Luke Romano, Sam Whitelock, Kieran Reid, Liam Messam, Israel Dagg, Corey Jane, Julian and Adi Savia have all gone directly to France, so they're not here at all. Aaron Cruden is another who came up here but is not involved in this match. So it'll be a plane load and a half of them tomorrow.
Certainly will. What an exciting tour ahead.
Yeah, my word. Starts in France, then England, then Ireland, as Carter's kick from reasonably wide this time, but he's on target today. Lovely kick, Dan Carter. And the All Blacks have scored 4 converted tries so far, 28-6. Carter and McCaw. It's a bit like Smith and Hadley.
It is indeed. Smith would be pleased to hear that.
Yep.
Especially hearing his name first.
Not quite grabbed by Dominic Bird, but the All Blacks recover, and Kerr Barlow drops it in, and it's been claimed by Halani, the big number 8 forward. All Blacks meeting him right on halfway. So Tanaka works it across to Takayama. Now here is replacement Tamura. All Blacks are offside. They've copped a few penalties in the first half. Referee looking for a significant advantage here. Hasn't been one yet. As Wing takes it in. Now Tanaka looking for runners. Now they free it up and it's broken down again, but the penalty will still apply. Right out towards centre field.
Now you think their mindset will probably change now. Expect them to kick for touch.
He gave them every chance to make something of it, didn't he, Stuart Berry? He's another one of the referees in this game who's really come through the sevens, and just an indication of how strong the South Africans are refereeing stocks at the moment. They've got a number of them that are capable of refereeing at top international level now.
Yes, headed by Craig Joubert, of course.
Jonathan Kaplan just recently bowing out after the Currie Cup final. Easily one of the best referees we've seen in the last 20 years.
Yep.
And a long, illustrious career. We wish him well for the life after rugby.
So here's a rare incursion into the All Black 22. Good work though by Jeremy Thrush, but it wasn't claimed in the finish by the All Blacks because Broadhurst grabbed it. And so he's got another advantage here as Horia takes it in. Getting up very quickly was Luatua. So it's a penalty advantage as Tamura takes it again for the setup. Wriggle his way through the tackles was right winger Hiroshi. Now the crowd getting a bit excited as they attack inside the All Black 22 through McCummy. Looks one way, then the other, and then works it off to Uri. Tanaka. Wouldn't they just love to get a try on the board before half-time? As the All Blacks have 4 of them so far. Good defence by Thrush on Tui, and the All Blacks have turned this over. So the defence is held, and Kurbalo hoofs it off downfield, but it's in fact a penalty against Japan.
Yeah, really nice work at the breakdown there from that man, Stephen Luatua. Richie McCaw almost won a penalty at the previous ruck, and then just got his timing bang on here. Good strength over the ball.
So a quick word there from Stuart Berry to Richie McCaw about the offside line. The All Blacks have been penalised a few times in this first half. Line out claim by Bird. Kurbalo's going to hoof it again. Waiting for it is Goramaru. Down he goes in the tackle of McCaw. Now, overlap there, but a wild pass chased across field, and it's a forward pass.
Kick there from Talbot Kurbalo. It's a big game for him because TJ Perenara coming back from that injury, obviously going to come very much into the reckoning on the European tour. It's a good opportunity here for Kurbalo in the starting role, and he'll want to make the most of it.
Yes, it is his 13th test match, so he's been around a wee while, but it is the first start, of course, behind Aaron Smith, who's sitting on the bench today. So we're 2 minutes out from half-time here. 28 points to 6. The All Blacks haven't had it all their own way, but they have cashed in when the opportunity has arisen. So Kurbalo gets it in, and they'll try it all over again.
I can see his reluctance, Kurbalo. He's looking at the referee to put that ball in because it's on that All Black loose head side. It's spinning in the wrong direction to where they want to attack. They want to go right. They want to unleash their backs as we look at them to the right-hand side. But the way the Japanese are manipulating that scrum, getting that loose head side up, or the tight head side from the Japanese, the loose head is losing a bit of a spin there. And it's not ideal ball to attack off, so he's reluctant to put it in, but he has to when the referee says, off you go.
Looking better this time. All Blacks have kept this one straight. Now Kurbalo works it off to Carter. Saili. Carter doubles round beautifully. Opens up here for Barrett. Barrett times his pass nicely. And Frank Halai, who had the goal line in his sights, but excellent cover defence, particularly from Mali Sao. And good, strong defence by the centre.
Great set-piece move from the All Blacks with the Carter loop. He was caught in, Mali Sao. He turned in, Carter went around the back, but he actually scrambled very well to get across and make that tackle on Halai.
Another good line-out throw. And Japan take it up through Hendrik Tui, who's been strong with the ball in hand in the first half. Oh, the clearing kick's not a good one at all. So the All Blacks are going to get one last shot at it, it would seem, just before the half-time break.
Yeah, that wasn't the best kick we've ever seen, but Japanese, both at scrum time and line-out, we've seen a real triumph of technique over size at times.
Line-out throw has been won by Luatua, so the All Blacks, as the hooter goes, they've lost it in contact, they've knocked it on, and they'll be playing advantage. So what are they going to try and do here, Japan? They've got to be careful here that the advantage still applies. I suspect it's probably over now, and they're hardly likely to score a try from here, but they get a penalty anyway. So that is likely to bring down the curtain on this first half. And I think it's fair to say, Justin, it's been a fairly patchy first half by the All Blacks. They have scored 4 tries.
Yeah, it's well described, actually. They have scored 4, but it has been very patchy.
So the ball goes into touch. Piutau, Kane, Ben Smith and McCaw, the tries all converted by Carter. Goramaru has kicked 2 penalty goals for Japan, 28-6 at half-time here in Tokyo. And just a reminder to our New Zealand viewers too, following this game, a documentary on Jonah Lomu, and that'll follow on Sky Sports. So that's half-time here at the Prince Chichibu Stadium in Tokyo, 28-6, the All Blacks lead. So 4 first half tries by the All Blacks here in Tokyo. The first scored by Charles Piutau, that's his first test try, followed by Sam Cane. Then Ben Smith continuing this remarkable season where he scored 11 test tries, and then the captain Richie McCaw scored his 22nd in test rugby, all converted by Dan Carter. 28 points and a couple of penalty goals for Japan, kicked by their fullback Gora Maru. So 28 points to 6 at half time, and conditions not the best now because the rain has been falling for about the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. All Blacks keen to go in the second half. As you can see, the rain has certainly got heavier. The All Blacks are out there, no sign of Japan as yet. Just having a quick look around the All Black side, and whether Tony is with us or not, but don't look to be any changes, Tony.
No changes to the All Black side. And you're right, that weather's just intensifying a bit. It's a good thing we've got lights here, because it would be very dark indeed.
Yeah, it's just coming up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon local time. And I know the days are closing in. Here, so it's normally dark at around about 5 o'clock, I think, Justin, isn't it?
Certainly is, yes. And afternoon rugby to PM kickoff, and there's Rodney
Mitchell. So the Japanese team returning to the field now, the All Blacks having been out there for a couple of minutes. And for our international audience, it's just got a little gloomier here, and the rain falling, which is disappointing. Yep. And it looks like Kikatani, vastly experienced players on the field, Tony.
Yeah, Halani's gone off. He made a couple of handling errors in the first half, otherwise he was pretty good, but Takashi Kikitani on in 20. And you can see the replacement then, the Tamura, who came on for the unfortunate Tatikawa.
Yes, Kikatani has played in 63 previous test matches, so he's one of the most experienced of the Japanese players. Only Hitoshi Ono, with 74 test matches now, including today, has more experience.
The only other thing I can tell you, Grant, is that I've just had a hot dog that is rocketed into the top 5 all-time stadium hot dogs.
You're on fire, TJ. You've had some snakes given to you by one of the All Black management as well.
Yeah, I know. It's a good day.
Right, the kickoff in the second half. The All Blacks 28 to 6 ahead, and taken down by Bird. On debut for the All Blacks today, Dominic Bird, of course, as Kurbalo hoisting. And just on the All Black side of halfway, and there's a real contest going on. In fact, there is Kikutani showing his experience and winning it. And Japan, well, they started the game with a hiss and a roar, and looks like they're going to start the second half in the same way. Here's Wing, Craig Wing, with all that NRL experience. Tanaka works it across, and once again it's Kikutani. Taken in here by Michael Broadhurst, the older brother of James Broadhurst. And the first penalty of the second half goes the way of the All Blacks. They haven't made any changes at half-time. Here's Kurbalo, running ball for Coles, and a loose pass, and it went forward. I'm assuming it was the pass made by Ben Smith, as the All Blacks try and up the tempo of the game.
Yeah, he needed to try and force that pass, though, Ben Smith, because the space was outside him. This is the quick tap. Kurbalo recognises the space. And from there, he went down the left-hand side, and Ben Smith had a defender coming in, and the winger, he had 2 players free, so he just tried to get it away in contact.
I imagine the All Black coaching staff will be looking for a bit more control at scrum time. They were a bit of a mess in the first half, which is going to be very interesting on this upcoming tour, with the Northern Unions perhaps more recently adopting these changes at scrum time. It's going to be a real feature, you think, over the coming weeks.
6. Yes, line.
And free kick As the scrum went down on this near side. Now it's a free kick, so the All Blacks will opt for another scrum, no doubt. And they didn't have it all their own way in the first half, it's fair to say, in the scrums or in the lineouts. You'd imagine also, Justin, that Steve Hansen will be very keen to get some of the reserve players some game time, particularly the players on debut, Tumunga Allen and Luke Whitelock.
I imagine they're equally as keen to get out there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Get their chance, but obviously these players deserve their opportunity to start. A lot of them been on the bench predominantly in most of their All Black careers. There's a couple of obvious ones out there that haven't, but the rest of them getting reasonably rare starts, and I guess he wants to give them good game time before he does introduce those other players that are new into the squad.
Cups. Binds. Six.
Well, it's just a little slippery on top now. It's going to make it difficult.
Yeah, on top of the fact that the surface just keeps giving way.
So that's set up there for the All Blacks. They do look set to target. You think that it's either Saili or Frank Halai who's just lurking in behind the scrum. He's Carter's options. I guess Halai is the option to go out the back, so he could go behind Smith and Saili to Halai if he wants to, Dan Carter.
Now McCaw, off it goes to Barlow, slings the pass to Carter, good looking move here, away it goes to Smith, at least to Barrett, and the kick and chase is on, and that is all Japan can do. It was a nicely weighted kick though by Bowden Barrett, and taken into touch by Fukuoka, and the All Blacks have this line out which is only 12 metres away. Luatua rising high, immediately hands it off to McCaw, and McCaw holding in the back here, getting some support from Bird. Now they start to get it going. They've gone a few metres, there's still 10 to go though. McCaw holding it up, now releasing it as Carter takes the line on, Dan Carter, and almost wriggles his way through. Barlow there quickly, but penalty. As he's got Francis Saili for coming in on the angle.
It's good power from Dan Carter, shows the ball, nearly gets through, shrugs off wing. And you can see there, yeah, it was Francis Saili, just came in from the side.
Take a step back.
Talked about Tawara Barlow wanting a good game. Of course, Daniel Carter, New Zealand really spoilt for choice in 10 here. We're just looking to re-establish things ahead of the big 2 or 3 test matches coming up in the next few weeks.
Once again, the line-out works well for Japan. Carter goes in, makes a strong tackle on Tui. Tanaka. Now Wing hands it on to his centre, Sal. Tanaka working the blind side, but there's not much room over there. And Japan still on their own side of halfway. Not afraid to give the ball a little bit of width, and that's been ripped away by Kane. Beautifully done. Now Luatua slings the pass. It's loose though. Now it's been hacked away by Piutau, and it's still in play as Sal gets it. The All Blacks close him down. And Japan have got a bit of work to do here to work this one away from near their own line. They're going to have to kick it as Carter challenges, and a good strong punt.
And lovely work there from Sam Kane. A bit mortifying though for Hendrik Tui, the number 6, who's a very powerful ball carrier. Just absolutely lost a one-on-one contest there.
Now Coles throws. Luatua has done some good line-out work. They've pulled him a lot. Here's Saili crunching it up. Barlow. back on the inside it goes, almost intercepted there by Wing. Referee will play advantage. I think it was a knock-on as Kerr-Barlow slings it across to McCaw, Luatua, and pushing one out of the road, but taken in a good solid tackle. Now here's Wyatt Crockett, lays it back again for Kerr-Barlow. Carter moves it on for Sa'ibi. Ben Smith, he turned and threw a forward pass, and it's been turned over. It's against Japan. It was against Japan. Initially, it looked like Smith had thrown a forward pass.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he's just got his, for some reason, put his arm out the wrong way, hasn't he? The referee, I'm not sure, but I think it was Ben Smith's error.
You might have changed the call here. We'll wait and see what happens. So 8 minutes gone, second half. No change to the 28-6 halftime score.
It does look like it's All Blacks ball. That's a bit bamboozling, actually, to be honest. I don't know what Japan did wrong there, but never mind. A great opportunity for the All Blacks. Frank Halai is holding there on the left wing. And the rest of the All Black backs are wide out to the left. Carter with plenty of options.
So in it goes from Kerr-Barlow. McCaw holding. Now off it goes Kerr-Barlow. It's a little weighted kick in behind. McCaw and Halai there very quickly. And penalty against one of the flankers, unbound at scrum time. So Carter has the opportunity here to set up a line out just a few metres away from the line. Let's see whether the All Blacks go for a big drive.
Just starting to see a bit of action on the All Black bench here, fellas. Some subs not far off.
So Dane Coles throws, Luatua. The All Blacks were given that one. Now McCaw's got it again. Holding it up. Not making a lot of progress. Now they go. McCaw decides to go on his own. And they set it just a couple of metres short. Here's Coles having a go. Japan over the ball. Now a drive at the line, and it's a try. And I've got a feeling it's Jeremy Thrush. Yes, it is. The big number 4 gets his first All Black Test try. Jeremy Thrush scores the first try in the second half.
Well, we were right on the drive, Nisbo. From there, they worked their way infield. It was just good strength from Thrush. Really, he was slightly short, but didn't have the ball on the ground and just reached out with good upper body movement there to get the ball up and over and down onto the line. There it goes.
We've had a few firsts today. And a first test try for both Jeremy Thrush and Charles Piutau. And here come some replacements, Tony.
Yeah, Tom Taylor on in 22, which will please his parents who've made the trip up, and also Ryan Crotty in 23, leaving the field Ben Smith. Just trying to pick up who the other player coming off the field is.
Possibly could be Dan Carter, could it? TJ, he's obviously taken the kick at goal now. I wonder whether or not he's the substitute, and they move Barrett into 10.
And Taylor back to fullback, maybe?
Yeah.
Yep. So this may well be the last act for Dan Carter in the game. And he has landed another conversion. And looks like he is angling his way off. So Dan Carter's on his way, having converted all 5 tries. And it's 35 points to 6.
Great effort from Dan Carter, certainly given that AC joint test out in Japan.
And nice little touch there, as he tends to do, lobbing the kicking tee into the crowd. Someone's got a great souvenir of this game.
Yes, that'll be a prize position as Luatua drives it outside the 22. And Kerr-Barlow kept coming down around the 10-metre line. And good effort by Halai, winning the ball for the All Blacks, but then losing it. But referee Stuart Berry saying that he must have gone to ground because it was ripped away. So Bowden Barrett taking over, and it's not a great start from him. Missing the touchline, and the kick made by Fukuoka. So it's probably worked out all right in the end.
He gets the result, doesn't he? Probably would have got it out around about there. That's where he's aiming anyway.
It was a very long kick by the Japanese player. Unfortunately, most of the distance it travelled was over the crowd.
Coles throws, stretching over was Bird. Kerr-Barlow. Now here is Kane in a bit of a gap. Links up nicely with McCaw. And they've lost it. All Blacks maybe suggesting it wasn't a knock-on, but as Stuart Berry said, I thought it was a knock-on. Let's have a look and see. 23 is Ryan Crotty. It was a nice offload here. Now, the ball went to ground from McCaw. Whether it was forward or not is difficult to know.
McCaw's reaction suggests so, I think. A bit disappointed the way that ball came free.
All Black forward pack remains intact. The two changes made in the backs.
Yeah, not for much longer. Luke Whitelock getting into his warm-up. Bit of history beckoning there too.
Yes, my word, there is.
We'll be about to have our third set of three brothers to have played for the All Blacks.
There's fellow Tiatia there with his hat on. The rest of the Japanese coaching staff.
So big All Black scrum, and the ball is loose near the line. All Blacks in after it. There it is. It's going to be there. Now it's been snapped up. The All Blacks having a go, and right at the base of the goalpost, and it's held up. So it was a mad scramble. Jeremy Thrush was close by, but this All Black scrum has got better as the game has gone on.
And not only that, the urgency, wasn't it? They got the scrum going backwards, and then the urgency to get on that loose ball. This needed to go to the right. There was players screaming for it out there, but no chance of that when the forwards are that close to the line of it being released, unless they've got no players on their feet and basically almost dead.
Bit of white line fever.
Yes. The odd scrum half could be accused of that as well, Misbah.
So this time it is All Black ball. 15 minutes gone. Second half, and just the one try so far in the second spell as Kerr-Barlow gets it in. McCaw holding. You don't see pushover tries very often. Now McCaw goes just a metre short, and it's a penalty. So it could be taken quickly. It is. And off it goes to Taylor. And it's been taken away, but it's another penalty.
I think he could have got them from offside as well. There's no way they're onside from the Kerr-Barlow tap initially.
Now the All Blacks want a scrum here. They want some semblance of order. There's the coach, Scott Wisemanta.
just sense that maybe some fatigue starting to set in with that Japanese pack. They have battled away superbly. They're going to make a change. This is Hiroshi Yamashita coming on in 18, and he goes into the front row in place of Hitakeyama, who has been a dynamic little fella today, this man.
Effectively, you see that All Black lineup there. They've got an abundance of inside backs. They've got Crotty, who's playing at centre. They've got Tom Taylor, who's at fullback. Saeli, obviously, and all led by Beauden Barrett. So plenty of versatility out there from the All Blacks. Players just adapting and find themselves in different positions.
So in it goes from Kerbalo. Again, the All Blacks applying the pressure. McCaw holds. Continues to hold. Now he's got to release it. Does so. Kerbalo tries to get it through. Goes again, Kerbalo. Comes up short though. Halai's right there. He's looking to get over the line. And a try is scored. And it is Frank Halai. So he gets a try on debut as the All Blacks score another one.
It was excellent work from Richie McCaw. Not his favourite position in the forward pack, but he's done a great job here at the back of the scrum just to keep it in control. Then he gets the tap from Kerbalo, releases it brilliantly. Great tackle from Tanaka to get Kerbalo, but then there's Frank Halai. He's just about impossible to stop when he gets that close. Big and strong, TJ, and great to see him get over for his first test try.
It is. I mean, they've been determined to try and push over, but the Japanese have held on, but they just can't keep that pressure or can't stave off that pressure. Change being made in the All Black forward pack. It's actually Dominic Bird leaving the field after his debut, and on comes Luke Whitelock wearing jersey 20, and he joins, or the Whitelock family joins the famous Brownlee family of Hawke's Bay and the Nichols family, as having provided 3 brothers in the All Black jersey.
Yeah, remarkable achievement, no doubt about that. As you say, the Nichols brothers, Mark, Ginger and Doc, in the early 1920s, the Brownlee brothers, Lawrence, Morris and Cyril in the mid to late 20s. And there's the first missed kick. Sam and George Whitelock, of course. Sam on his way to France. And so Luke Whitelock is on the park. The All Blacks 40-6 ahead. And
Japan making a change. Yoshikazu Fujita comes on. It looks like he's replaced the captain, Hirose.
Here's Tom Taylor receiving the kickoff. As Tawera Kerbalo works it off to Barrett. Here's Thrush, who's had a good honest game again, scoring his first test try. Barrett from inside the 22, but they took it back, so he can't kick it out directly. And here's Goramaru for Japan. This is going to be a bad scramble for the All Blacks, and they were never quite going to get there. It was a beautifully weighted kick. And now it's been ripped away, and there's an opportunity. But the ball has been lost across the line by Fujita. But that kick, there was real hesitation. And you can just see that the All Black coming forward, I think it was Tom Taylor, was never quite going to make it.
He was too far away. I think they both looked at each other, him and Taylor. Never made up their mind.
Kerbalo kicks. And Goramaru, I'm not sure why he jumped there. There wasn't an All Black within Kui. But it's there for Tanaka. Now here's Japan. And a good run by Wing. And another penalty.
Oh, brilliant work there from Ryan Crotty. He wins the penalty. Just to explain that change, Luatua will go into the second row for the All Blacks, and Whitelock probably to 8, which I guess means the All Blacks will have Kane and McCaw on the flanks. There's Crotty.
And this time Barrett does make sure of it. As we tick over 60 minutes gone in this game. 40 points to 6.
All the rugby is being played down in this half of the field, isn't it? All Blacks almost like 80% territory, so they just can't get the ball in the right areas, Japan, to launch an assault on this All Black defence.
Coles throws, Thrush off the top. Kerbalo, Saili, short pass to McCaw. He sets it nicely. Now off it goes for Crotty. And the ball was out, it's been stolen away. And now the chase is on. The All Blacks having to scramble back in defence. Taylor might have been taken a bit early. Loose ball all over the place, and Kane did all right to rip it away. And it was knocked on by the All Blacks. Well, he ruled that it was out. Fair enough too, because Tawira Kerbalo had his hands on the ball.
Kikutane showing all of his experience there, getting around, dislodging the ball from Barrett, from Kerbalo. And I'll tell you what, one of those toe hacks, if a player had managed to get a boot on it, you know, one had a wild swipe that completely missed. It would have been an interesting foot race to the goal line.
Fines. 6. It's 9.
Tanaka feeds. With about 18 minutes remaining here in Tokyo as Tanaka moves it across. And again, the ball goes loose. And it's Utamura has to go back. Once again, try to play the game from inside their own half. Here's Michael Broadhurst. Good solid defence by the All Blacks. Going forward and trying to walk over the top here, but it's been recycled. As Halai goes in and makes a good tackle again on Broadhurst, and he ran out of players to hand the ball to. And the All Blacks win themselves another penalty. And another chance here for Boda Barrett to find the touchline.
Wow. Probably a fortunate one for the All Blacks. He was able to do the squeeze ball. The referee said he took too long to do it, but looked like it was all in one motion to me. However, the All Blacks will take that bonus and maybe set up a line-out drive again.
Finding Thrush is Coles. Good drive forward by the Japanese players, but the All Blacks have it there. So Kerbalo. Off it goes to Wyatt Crockett. Kerbalo again. Now Barrett. Saili. He's the man who's taken it up into contact today. Once again, advantage coming the All Blacks' way. Barrett looking to step his way through. The line coming up very quickly as Kane releases. Here's Taylor. Getting very close to that touchline, but again, there's no advantage. And racing over to the mark is Piutau. But I think Richie McCaw wants to just slow it down a wee bit, take another scrum.
Might be time to get a replacement on Andrew Hoare, about to saunter onto the field in jersey 16, replacing Dane Coles, who's had a couple of really good moments with ball in hand. He's got tremendous acceleration, Coles. Now off he comes, and the veteran Andrew Hoare on in 16.
Yes, 82nd test match. Might be coming to the end of it, who knows? No Super Rugby contract for next year. You'd draw that conclusion, Justin.
You'd think so. Possibly the opportunity to head abroad. He does love it down on the Maniatoto though, doesn't he, Andrew Hoare? So I mean, he would be content and happy with a fantastic career that he's had over a long period of time. It's been absolutely excellent All Blacks.
The All Blacks went early, so Andrew Hoare doesn't get a chance to win the first scrum. It's a free kick. Now, well, Japan, you wouldn't imagine they would have put a scrum down here, so too many options available. Just a tap and go, maybe. And look, the All Blacks driving in hard, led by Luke Whitelock, and with him, Ben Franks. And again, no release. And it was Hoare, who's so good over the ball. Now the All Blacks have another penalty, and it's another scrum. So it's just getting a little messy here with 15 minutes remaining. The All Blacks 2 second half tries, Thrush and Halai, both getting their first for the All Blacks. And another change here for Japan.
Yeah, this is Luke Thompson coming onto the field, product of Christchurch. In fact, he's the brother of Anna Thompson, who's been a member of the New Zealand netball team. So he comes on, and it's one of the locks coming off. It's Ito.
Yes, Luke Thompson's been around a while. It's his 40th cap for Japan. So in it goes from Kurbalo, Whitelock, now Kurbalo, away it goes to Barrett. Here's Saili, hands it off to Crotty. Kurbalo, well, they got there just at the right time, Japan. They've upset the All Black ball, and it's been lost forward.
They've really been targeting Kurbalo around the fringes, coming over the top, round the side, whatever, anything they can do to try and break down his delivery. They've done it pretty well at times.
Yes, he came through the middle, that's fair enough. So the All Blacks have scored 6 tries, 5 of them converted by Dan Carter.
Chant of Nippon going around the crowd.
Now that's come back on the All Black side. I suppose technically a tight head as Sam Cane. Now Kurbalo, little kicker behind, nicely weighted, beautifully done. And Beauden Barrett scores the try. But what a kick from Tuera Kurbalo as the All Blacks won a scrum against the head, and they score another one.
Well, when he picked the ball up from the ruck, have a look. This is the turnover. The ball bounces back out the scrum. You argue whether or not that was legit. However, the All Blacks pounce quickly, and it's a heads up. He actually looks where he wants to kick it, and then off it's not off his good foot, it's off his left foot. Times it perfectly. Great follow-up from Barrett.
That's probably been Kurbalo's nicest touch today. It was a deft little kick, put real pressure on the defence. I suppose the question mark is that it really relates to the channel that the ball came out of the scrum, but you see the All Blacks really targeted the shove, got the turnover. And look, great awareness of just where the defence was and where the kick needed to go.
Beauden Barrett, who has a happy knack of popping up and scoring tries. Who will ever forget the try at Ellis Park a few weeks ago?
Certainly not us, Nisbo.
No.
Vital, wasn't it?
Sure was. Now here he is trying to convert his own try. And brings it round beautifully. Nice kick. So Barrett converts from near the sideline, and it's 47 points to 6.
And that lovely little kick was the last act of the day for Tawera Kurbalo. He's been replaced at halfback by Aaron Smith, and a wonderful moment here for Jeffrey Tuamanga Allen coming on in jersey 17.
So all the debutants have had their opportunity. Here's Piatau bursting away. Nice work. Couldn't get the pass off. Now it's with Crotty. And he in turn tried to move it away as well. But they just ran out of room, the All Blacks. So from the starting lineup, we've got Frank Halai and Dominic Bird on debut. And now off the bench, Luke Whitelock and Jeff Tuamanga Allen, who's right at the front here in 17.
Just Charlie Faumuina left on the bench now for the All Blacks.
Poirier throws, and well, the line out not going quite so well. Here's Thrush off the McCaw pass, sets it up for Smith, and Aaron Smith. Nice little run around here. Barrett gives it away. The All Blacks starting to look a lot more fluent as Aaron Smith clears it off. Here's Luatua, drops a nice pass off to Halai. He throws a little bit of a Hail Mary, but he really didn't have many options. And they're in touch with just over 10 minutes remaining. Their foot landed on the line. Such a good line-out throw again, but Japan haven't this time as Tanaka works it across to Tamura. Good defence by Kane. Went in hard on the tackle. Now Mali Sao playing a lot of the game in their own half, though, the Japanese players. And that looked forward, but resulted in a nice little break by Yamashita. As the wing runs hard and gets it off to Tui. As Tanaka again. Now Yamura, and big defence as Kikutani took it into contact. It's gone backwards. Quick hands required here, looking for an overlap. And once again it's Sao. All Blacks again looking to try and step over the top, but not successful this time, as Mikami throws it off to Hore. Now Tanaka kept this ball alive for some time, but they haven't really made any ground at all. Smith read that beautifully.
Highlander on Highlander. Smith on Tanaka.
Yeah, that's right. There's Tanaka. Kikutani. Now Tanaka gets it away again. Looking for any weakness in the All Black defence, but it hasn't shown up yet. As Barrett goes in and makes the tackle. And this time it's been lost. And it will be a scrum All Black ball unless they can get it back. And they're not able to do that, so it will be an All Black scrum. Well, they ran around in circles, really. Didn't make too much progress.
They did make a couple of good line breaks, though. Got in behind. What is very good is the All Blacks scrambling defence. When there's a line breach, they just get to the ball, get to the player so quickly. There's the Highlander on Highlander. If Jamie Joseph is watching that, keeping an eye on his 2 charges for next year. Aaron Smith has been in sensational form this year and superb for the All Blacks. I tell you, I've been impressed with as well from the Japanese team is Craig Wing. I thought he's been excellent in the 12 jerseys. Worked hard, he's tackled tirelessly. And also kind of out of position, used to seeing him in the outside backs, particularly as a league player. A winger or a fullback, and he's adapted to the game really well. I've been impressed with the way he's played.
Yes, his debut season for Japan. Here's Whitelock detaching off the back. There was a foot in the road, though. And he's gone with a knock on. So it'll be another scrum. This time it'll be Japanese ball. Look at the hoof come round here from Halai. Not sure that was entirely legal. So about 7 minutes remaining. The All Blacks move on to Europe tomorrow, and of course the first of the 3 big test matches up there. All of these of course live on Sky Sports. Will be from Paris next week against France, then they go to Twickenham and finish up in Dublin against Ireland as Japan have the ball once again. Here's 7-on-7. Broadhurst taken down by Kane, who goes hunting. Ball's been knocked on, so advantage applies. Taken up by Goramaru. Tanaka running strongly. Here's Wing once more. He is very direct, Craig Wing. Good steal, says the referee. So he's happy with the turnover as the All Blacks through Barrett. Now the kick by Saili. Piatau and Saili chasing hard. Ball's there. Piatau's first there. And he gets his second as the All Blacks hit 50.
Excellent finish, but great work from Saili. Off the left foot, found space as well. The space was always there. It was just about the ability for him to land it and make it contestable. This is the turnover. And from there, the chasing work from Saili as well. So he's the man that kicked it off the left foot, found the space. It was always there. And then he gets up there and contests it, gets his foot on it, probably his knee. And it's finished off by Piatau.
Good, strong chasing. Yes, he did. He thrust out that left foot.
He's been really impressive, Charles Piatau. And you, on top of that performance in Dunedin, there's some real pressure on New Zealand, obviously, with some really good options now on the wing. Julian Savea, of course, on the left. You've got Corey Jane coming back into the frame on the right wing. But there are some real options there.
Yeah, you throw Ben Smith into it, who is out of position, I guess, with Conrad Smith on a sabbatical. So there's some genuine depth there, which is great.
Bowden Barrett's last kick with a beauty, and he's moved it round again. So nicely judged by Bowden Barrett. So Charles Piutau has scored a couple of tries. The All Blacks have scored 8 of them. 7 have been converted. And it's 54 points to 6. So the kickoff is made. And it bounced away. Broadhurst was first man up there. Ball is still... No, it's not. The scrum is going to be put down. And he's ruled that it's been a knock-on. So those previous All Black scores during World Cup campaigns, 145 to 17.
That's Craig Wing leaving the field, by the way. Just carry on.
Yep. Of course, the other one was a couple of years ago, as I said before, 83 points to 7. So whether that's an indication, Justin, that Japanese rugby's improved, or
yeah,
I don't know. What conclusion can we reach?
I've been impressed. I think they have improved. Now, obviously, the scoreline doesn't show that. There's elements there that are certain improvements.
Pretty much a brand new All Black scrum here, and they've got themselves a penalty, as Japan have been judged to have screwed the scrum around.
I'm sure they would love to score a try, though, as with the crowd out there, TJ, I imagine.
Well, yeah, I think they've been a really appreciative crowd. Just seeing a couple of changes in the front row with Nagai on in 17, Aoki in 16, Poirier leaving the field, and Mikami as well. But they've been a really generous crowd here today. They've appreciated all the good rugby they've seen, but they've all from the All Blacks, but they've really got them behind the Japanese team too.
So the All Blacks move it through the back line. Taylor gets it off to Halai, having a go at his man, beat him nicely. Frank Halai is a hard man to put down, and he's really given the All Blacks some forward momentum here, as Luke Whitelock has it inside the 22. Now Smith goes to Barrett, Saili, and that was lost forward surely, or kicked ahead. But now the chase is on. The referee said no knock on, and the All Blacks desperately trying to control this through Piutau. The captain is back there, but the ball has been lost, and now here is a chance for Japan. The closest they've been for some time in the game, and can they outflank the All Blacks? As Broadhurst taken in the tackle of Whitelock. All Blacks won't want to concede a try, as Fukuoka is lowered, but they're only 10 metres away. And the ball has been lost. No penalty. And the All Blacks have been judged offside. Now this will be a tap and go surely. I don't think they'll want to put a scrum down. And right across to this near side, Stuart Berry, and it's against Richie McCaw. Trust their line out, which by and large has gone fairly well.
It's been effective.
No, they've decided not. They're going to go back the other way.
What would we know?
Yeah. So the All Blacks are going to spend a little time defending here. And now it's been quickly moved across to Fukuoka on the left wing side. There is the goal line, and a real chance right on the line. Tanaka frees it up. It's a loopy old pass, and it's brought the All Blacks a bit of time in defence as Broadhurst sets it up. So they've still got another 8 metres to go here as Tui tries to step his way through, squeezes it back. Now Holani, Tanaka looking to step his way through was Tamura. Crowd right in behind them here. We're in the last minute of the game, and Japan looking to score through Michael Broadhurst. So it's 5 metres away, and they get another penalty. Andrew Hall, the last man up. So now Tanaka just taps it, hands it off to his replacement, Yamashita. Again, the goal line is right there. Tanaka slips it across. Advantage here against the All Blacks. So it's a penalty advantage as the siren goes. That's very close. It's still advantage, so they might get another shot if required. Ball is there. Snapped up by Kikutani. The advantage remains as Broadhurst drops his shoulder. Now the ball's been turned over, but there was no advantage, so it'll be Fumiaki Tanaka to take it again. Here's Broadhurst. He's had a lot of carries. Got through the first one, driving towards the line. Not quite there, though. Ball will be there for Tanaka. And hello, another penalty. Oh, could be a yellow. Yep.
Cynical, arm around the ball, intentionally holding it.
So they'll defend with 14, the All Blacks. So whistle goes. Tanaka taps. There he is again, Broadhurst, for about the 5th time. Now Tanaka frees it away. Quick hands and a dive for the corner by Fukuoka. And they go to check upstairs. Nobody quite knows. And we're going to have to see what George Ayu thinks of this. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I got you, George. Trial, no try, please.
I think he was in touch. There was a bullet that came right over the top of him in the form of Richie McCaw, and why wouldn't it be his engine that's still going well after the full-time siren that comes across? Luatu is there. There's McCaw. Bang!
Foot on the line.
Foot on the line.
Yeah. Well out.
The crowd think they've seen enough for it to be awarded, but great work from the two New Zealand loose forwards.
Well, it looks a lot closer from that particular angle, but when you look at it front on, well, this won't tell us a thing. It's this one here. Just look at his foot, which is now on the line.
His body's out as well before he gets the ball down.
So it will be ruled no try, surely.
Touch first before grounding the ball. Thank you very much. No try.
No try. And the game is completed as referee Stuart Berry blows that final whistle. So disappointment for Kinki Fukuoka. But Japan have played well. It was 28 points to 6 at half time. And they didn't relent in the second half. Final score 54 to 6.
I agree. I think Japan really contributed to this game. Some fundamental errors really cost them. Let the All Blacks get away. Costly mistakes. But in general, you can see a lot of growth there. They played some rugby. They certainly didn't come here to be passengers. And they can be well pleased with their efforts. But as can the All Blacks. Some players on debut. Plenty of players getting an opportunity for a run-on start. Whilst a little rusty, lots of them played extremely well.
Yes, one of those is Charles Piutau, who we can see there. He got a couple of tries. He was the only All Black to score 2 tries. Kane, Smith, that's Ben, McCaw, Thrush, and Halai got the others. 8 of them, 8 tries, 7 conversions. So 2 penalty goals in the first half by Goromaru for Japan. So the skipper, for the 84th time in a test match, Richie McCaw, has got a smile on the face. And Japan, well, Honour is a big word in this country. They certainly come out of this game with honour.
Well, they certainly have. And lots of their players. Tanaka, his experience coming back from Super Rugby. A few foreign players, but a lot of Japanese players involved here. It certainly showed glimpses of a bright future for Japan.
So there it is, first match on the 4-match Northern Tour, and the All Blacks have beaten Japan here in Tokyo by 54 points to 6.
First of all, you'll be wrapped to get through the game after a bit of time out. How's the body?
Oh, pretty good actually. Yeah, it was a pretty quick sort of a game, but it was nice to get 80 minutes under the belt, and you know, it was a interesting old match, but you know, I think we learned a bit off it, and it was good to get everyone to get a run.
Still going flat out at the end when you managed to stop them scoring a try in the corner. Obviously, they tried really hard, didn't they?
Excuse me. Yeah, they played some good rugby at times. You know, they got some quick ruck ball and stuff, and we were a bit guilty of you know, giving away a few penalties and stuff. So yeah, you got to give them credit, definitely. But I thought at times, you know, we took our opportunities and played some good patches of rugby. So you know, we're going to be happy with that. But you know, we've got to learn a few lessons as well.
In terms of preparation for what lies ahead?
Well, I think it's good for a lot of guys. If you know, there'll be a few changes next week. I'm sure the guys that are already, you know, in Paris waiting. But you know, for everyone to get a run and get a feel of how we're playing, you know, it means we've got everyone sort of up to speed for whatever lies ahead. Yeah, starting next week in France.
A couple of huge weeks, really, isn't it? I mean, obviously Ireland on the end of it, but France, the team you played in the World Cup final, England, the team that scored a win over you. I mean, that's a really massive 2 weeks coming up for this side.
Yeah, it's exciting. That's the way I see it. And you play this game to be tested, and playing in Paris, and then a week later at Twickenham. I mean, I don't get much bigger than that. So, but we'll get the first one first in Paris and look forward to it.
And just finally, in terms of today, I mean, you had a great crowd turn up. It was a really nice atmosphere here. Are you happy with how things have gone this week in Japan?
Yeah, it's been a good week. You know, you do at a place where you don't go very often, always, you know, change makes it exciting. And just pity a bit of drizzle, but yeah, it's been a good week and a good atmosphere to play in.
Okay, mate, we'll travel well. We'll see you in Paris.
Cheers, TJ.